do is set equal to 0. Is this first equation set equal to 0? Sure is, because you see on the right side it says equals 0. So we've got a quadratic, it's equal to 0. Now we're going to factor it. That's step 2. So on number 13, here, this first thing we check for is there a GCF? You've got 1, 12, and 35, so no. But we do know that A is 1, because you see here we've got A, B, C, and A is 1. And that is something special that you know how to do, hopefully a shortcut. If not, that's okay. But it does have a shortcut. When A is 1, that means you just find your two numbers and plug in parentheses. So find your two numbers that multiply to 35 and add to what? 12. Okay. Take a moment, try and figure that out for me. Anybody got our two numbers? 5 and 7. Great. So we take those two numbers, 5 and 7. And because my A value is 1, I can go straight to parentheses. It becomes x plus 5, x plus 7. And I'm taking these two values I found here and putting them right into parentheses. Okay, but this whole section of 3.4 is about solving. So I set that, this is still equal to 0, remember? And I'm going to take my two factors and I'm going to actually set them equal to 0. So I have x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, this is like a tiny little equation. I'm solving for x. How do I get x by itself? Minus 5. And so that means that one of my answers is negative 5. So it gives you these itty-bitty equations, and now we'll do again. X plus 7 is equal to 0. How do I solve it? Minus 7. And I get negative 7. So maybe you catch on that it's kind of just opposite signs of what you see. So if you're typing it on Delta Math, it's going to be in like squiggly brackets like this. It would say like negative, usually the smallest one first, right? Negative 7, negative 5, and then I think it'll automatically give you these brackets, the squiggly ones, which just means a solution set. Okay, so here's the thing that's nice about solving is that you can now check your answer by graphing. So if you want to pull up Desmos right now, you can. If I take this equation and I graph it on Desmos, x squared plus 12x plus 35, you should see that my solutions, my x-intercepts, because that's what we're trying to find, my x-intercepts are negative 7 and negative 5. So we'll go check that real quick. Number 14, because it's not equal to 0 right now, you have to get it equal to 0 first. How do I move this 2 over to the other side? You would do the opposite and subtract it to get it over there. So we subtract the 2 to move it over because we're trying to get it equal to 0. And the reason we're getting equal to 0, by the way, is because you're trying to find the x-intercepts. And the y value is 0 on the x-axis. So now it becomes 3x squared minus 5x, and then minus 2 would go next, and that's equal to 0, because 2 minus 2 is 0. You want to make sure it's in A, B, C order, like this. And now we check what we've got over here. Check your little flow chart in the wall. First thing we do is look for a GCF. 3, 5, and 2. Is there a GCF? No. Okay, so the second thing we could check is my A value 1? No, it's 3. Is it a difference of squares? No, it's 3 terms, so for sure not. So this is the long way. A is not 1, so you do have to do A times C. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and we are adding to negative 5. Multiplies to negative 6, adds to negative 5. What are my two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 5? Negative 6, positive 1. I'll do it in that order. Okay, if the equals 0 is going to throw you off, then forget about it for a while. We're factoring 3x squared at the beginning, negative 2 at the end. We've done this so many times. And in the middle, I replace my b term, right? So I'm replacing this negative 5x with negative 6x plus 1x. And now what? Split it. What is my GCF for the first half? 3x, and you're dividing each of these terms by 3x. If there's anything we like really did well on the quiz, it's these kind of questions. So good job there. You just got to remember that it works for everything. And then that would be x minus 2. You have to take out a GCF. Some of us on our quiz, if it was something like this where there was not an obvious greatest common factor, you put nothing. But you do have to put something. What do these both divide by? You have to divide by 1. Even though it feels kind of silly, my GCF here is 1. And that would, again, get me x minus 2. So they match, which means we're good. Put your GCFs together, 3x plus 1. You're the one that's the same together. Okay, but this is about solving. So you factored it now. Remember, it's equal to 0. So put that equal to 0 back at the end. You have to take your 2 parentheses, or your 2 factors, and set those equal to 0. So you're writing like 2 tiny equations. 3x plus 1 equals 0. We'll solve that one first. What first do I do? Subtract 1, which would get me negative 1. And now I divide by 3. And you need to leave your answer as a fraction. So my final answer here is negative 1/3. Do not give me a decimal. I will be quite sad if you do that. Your other equation is pretty simple. X minus 2 equals 0. We just add 2. And my answer is 2. So if you're on Delta Math, you will type these in as comma answers, like these are my 2 solutions. You should know if you're right. You shouldn't be like, Miss Brandt, is this right? You should know. Because now we're going to take this, and if you want to pull up Desmos and type it in yourself, the equation we would type in is the one that's equal to 0, or the expression we type in, because we're graphing that. So 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. If I go to Desmos and type it in, I should see my intercepts are right. So the first thing we do is set this equal to 0. What we're doing is we're replacing the y with a 0 because we're finding the x-intercepts. I always put the 0 on the right side because I feel like it looks weird if it's on the left. I don't know. That's just me. Okay, in your factoring, so you check your little flow chart. Okay. Is there a greatest common factor? Yes. X. You can divide this by x. But we're not going to like divide it out because it's got the x. And because it's a GCF, it goes back out in front. So x, and if I factor that out, then it's x minus 8. And all of that's equal to 0. Can x minus 8 be factored any further? No, okay. You have 2 factors here. You have x is one of your factors, and x minus 8 is the other. When you have a quadratic like this, where you just have the a and b, it's always going to give you a GCF, guys, at least an x. Maybe it's something we should have been more clear about. A and b, if that's what I have, then I will have a GCF. So I take my 2 factors and I set them equal to 0. X equals 0. And that was easy. That's one of your answers. Your other one is x minus 8 equals 0. And I'm solving, so I add 8, and these are probably equations you can do in your head, and that's fine with me, as long as I see like your work for factoring. So x is equal to positive 8. You should know if you write, if you graph it. Okay, so I'm going to take this equation that's equal to 0, x squared minus 8x, and I'm going to graph it on Desmos real quick, and we should see that we're right. First, please set it equal to 0, because you're finding your x-intercepts, and you're setting your y value equal to 0 is what you're doing. The first thing you check for is the greatest common factor. Always. I don't care what problem it is. Always look for that first. Do you have one? You sure do. It's a 3. I think that's it, right? Divides by 3, but the second term does not have an x because this is my a and my c this time. So if I do that, then I would get x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. We'll remember to put the 3 back out in front at the end, but for now, look at what we have. Anybody remember what this is called? I have my a and my c. 9 is a perfect square, so this is a difference of squares. You can do it at like difference of squares, or you can do like two numbers that multiply to -9 and add to 0. If that makes more sense to you, then do it that way. It just means that the numbers will be pretty big sometimes. What are two numbers that multiply to -9 and add to 0? 3 and -3, which would be the same thing you get if you do difference of squares and take the square root. That would be x plus 3, x minus 3. And those are equal to 0. You can put the 3 back in front. Okay, but here's the thing. You're not going to if you do 3 equals 0, you're not solving for anything. So we actually don't care about the 3 in front. Technically, you'd be allowed to divide it out because it's an equation, but if that's confusing for you, I won't do that. So we solve, and one of my answers is -3. And set my other factor equal to 0. My other answer is +3. And again, you can check that with Desmos, because if I graph this equation, 3x squared minus 27, then I should know what my solutions are.